Well, a judge now ordering the feds to return another man deported to El Salvador, 20-year-old Venezuelan identified only as Christian. The judge in Maryland says his removal violated a court settlement, the government defending the deportation under the Alien Enemies Act. Meantime, a different federal judge giving the feds another week to respond to questions about Kilmar Abrego Garcia, deported from Maryland to El Salvador. The White House refusing to bring him back, saying he is an MS-13 member. His lawyers and family deny that. While a first for the feds, an accused Tren de Aragua leader facing terrorism charges that could put him away for life. He is in custody in Colombia, and prosecutors in New York charging more than 24 accused TDA members and associates with crimes including racketeering, sex trafficking, most of them also in custody.
We send a strong message to Tren de Aragua. We're going to keep doing this to every TDA member, MS-13 members removed from the country.
Paul Mauro is here, retired NYPD inspector, attorney, and Fox News contributor. Paul, great to have you on the show as always. I hear words like racketeering and RICO. I think John Gotti, right? Sure. Not Tren de Aragua, but here we are.
It qualifies right in that bucket quite easily, and more power to them, because this is the first time that anybody's used a RICO against any of these groups. I spent a lot of oxygen in the waning years of the Biden administration saying, where you and I talked about it relative to the campus protests, so where are the cases? They wouldn't take any cases. And relative to Tren de Aragua, they just wouldn't put together any conspiracy or RICO cases, because it would have been a tacit admission that, hey, we created this problem by letting these guys in. It shows you that elections do have consequences, like President Obama said. Yep. And all you needed was a new president and a new sheriff in town, which is what we have. You can make these cases. RICO comes with heavy, heavy sanctions. And as a result, you can flip guys, you can get the phones, you can map the network. This is what's been missing from the tentative social work that we had from DOJ under the Biden administration.
You talk about a new sheriff in town. It looks like Eric Adams, the mayor of this town, New York City, seems to have a no-nonsense attitude kind of going forward here. Here's what he said. Watch.
Hats off to those who have part of this collaboration to take dangerous people off our streets. Now it's time to keep them incarcerated and not the revolving door system that we've witnessed, allowing them to come out over and over again, inflicting violence on our communities. Law enforcement is doing its job.
It's a novel concept for the Democratic Party.
Yeah, it was. And, you know, more power to him. I agree with him, of course, but you got to say to yourself, where has that Eric Adams been for the last 4 years? Now, one of the things he's talking about there is NYPD involvement in this RICO case. It's a DOJ case. Looks like they did the operational work with DHS. More power to them. They had the guts to bring this RICO case, just like DOJ now has stepped up to charge terrorism with a leader. I know he's not in pocket, but to charge a terrorism case on a leader of Tren de Aragua is a little bit of a dice roll. More power to them.
I want to put this up because it's interesting. It comes from the other side of the coast here. This is San Francisco, a court document showing a San Francisco judge blocking the Trump administration from withholding federal funds from sanctuary cities. It says the threat to withhold funding causes them irreparable injury in the form of budgetary uncertainty, deprivation of constitutional rights, and the undermining trust between the cities, counties, and the communities they serve. We know, because we've been covering this stuff for a long time, Paul, these sanctuary regulations, laws are detrimental, typically because they are harboring and protecting, as we learn, criminals by the dozens.
And they prey upon the very communities that ostensibly they're supposed to be protecting here. Let's expand the story just a little bit. Remember something, in this RICO case or even in the terrorism case, you got a big lever. If you can flip people, if you can get the phones and you can look, you may see indicia of Venezuelan government involvement. If you do, the Alien Enemies Act, which argues that there's a foreign intervention into America, all of a sudden gets validated. This case punches at a very high weight. These sanctuary cities are killing us, and this battle, I think, is going to go on for the entire 4 years of the Trump administration.
But a very bad guy we talked to not too long ago was saying, you know, the reason we come to California is because, one, we know they don't like to put people in jail, and two, they're going to protect you if somebody comes after you. And so we have kind of latitude to run our notorious business.
Yeah, no way to run it. You know, you and I were talking about Oakland.
All right.
Look at the results there. Oakland just has every possible pathological malady that a blue city could have, and everybody's looking for the lever to pull it out. and none of us see it. So, you know, look, the DOJ is doing what they can, but at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff is local.
Yeah.
And until the Dems get the memo, a lot of it's not going to change.
Oakland is as close to a failed American city as we have seen in a while.
agree.
Paul Mauro, great to have you on. Thank you.
As you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.